guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. You're probably wondering why I'm whispering, and today I'm making an ASMR video. So I know normally my channel isn't about ASMR, it's about style and how to look good tutorials basically. But today I was gonna sit down and shoe shine my shoes, and I just thought, hey, what the heck? I'll just do a tutorial about fashion, but using ASMR. And for you ASMR nuts. Alright, so one of the first things that I like to do when I'm cleaning my shoes, I take off the shoelaces. Little knot here. So I take off the shoelaces because oftentimes all the product gets stuck in the fabric in this, and then it just kind of stinks, and it doesn't wash off easily, so I'd just rather take it off from the get-go. Actually, I'll do this shoe later. Set that down. So for a shoe shine, you're gonna need a few things. You're gonna need your leather shoe that you're gonna be cleaning. You're gonna need some water. Please make sure it's clean. That way you don't get anything on your shoes. You're going to need a brush with either natural or bristle, or maybe some, I don't know, maybe horse hair. I know these come in horse hair. Oh, that sounds good. Doesn't sound half bad. So the first step is to clean the shoe dry, right? Try to clean it. You're going to take a brush and you're going to go over the shoe a couple of times. Make sure it has no dirt, no gunk, no mud. That's going to scratch up the leather. As you can probably see, these have gotten a beating. You can see right there. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if it focuses. The beeswax on the shoe, that is not actually the leather. That is a beeswax coating that it has. It's been scuffed up, so this needs a nice clean. Leather's pretty rugged, so don't be afraid to really get in there with the brush. You're not going to scratch anything. Let me move the water. Just check it out, make sure there's no mud, no little stones, and sometimes it can get stuck between the seam there, and it could damage your shoe, your actual shoe, if it's stuck in there somewhere. So after you make sure that, the next step would be to actually wash the shoe itself. You could use some saddle soap, and I just realized I can't show you the soap because it's already opened. I use it to put the water in. So this little tin, it's from Kiwi. You could get this at Walmart for a couple bucks. It's just some saddle soap. And you're gonna need this little horsehair shoe brush, which is going to scrub all the dirt that didn't come off with this. You're gonna do it with this. So just make sure this is nice and wet. It's humid, damp, whatever. So dip that into the water. Yes, my saddle soap looks like this because I left it outside the other day, shining a different pair of shoe, and it melted, and now it looks like this. But yeah, you basically go like this. Sounds nice. After you have a nice lather going, you want to go over your shoe. I have a pair of shoe trees, which I would highly suggest putting inside the shoe so you don't damage the shape and the construction of the shoe, but well, I don't have them right now. I don't know where they're at. You see that it has kind of like a brownish coloring. That is the tint from the beeswax coming off, and what it's gonna do is even out. So all those scuff marks are they're gonna even out, and it's not gonna look all scratched and scuffed. Sorry. You see, it kind of gets brown. It looks kind of like it's really dirty, really muddy. It's not mud. It's the beeswax. Don't forget to do the tongue of the shoe. That's really important. It's the small details that count. I'm sweating. It is a really hot day. There is no air conditioning in here, and all my windows are closed, so you don't have to hear the cicadas and the crickets and everything else outside going on. So once you have your shoe all lathered up like this, you want to use something to clean it. I like to use maybe like a soft t-shirt, but today all I have is a towel. I don't have any ruined t-shirts lying around. I don't know what I do with my old ones. I think I threw them out. So once you have it like this, just clean it off, get all that gunk out, and we get back to work. So let's just clean this off. Don't do this too hard, especially, wow, look at that. That's not dirt, that's beeswax. You can reapply that later on if you like reapplying the beeswax. My hair keeps getting in the way and it's poking my eye. You're gonna see the leather get dark. Most of these products, they don't dye the boot, they don't dye the leather. So don't be worried about that, it's just leather absorbing water and the conditioning from the saddles. It's really important you don't do this too hard so you don't scrape the boot. Just a nice little firm, not hard, firm passing over so you can get all that gunk from out of there. That is already looking a billion times better. Don't quote me on that number. Let's set that aside. Normally I would let this sit for about an hour or two so the leather relaxes and all the trapped water in the leather now, that's why it's dark, kind of dries up, and then I can reapply the leather lotion. This helps clean and protect your shoe, but it's not very dense. This is not how I like to clean my shoes. I like to let them sit for a while, but for the sake of the video, we're gonna do that. So I like to apply this with my hands. I don't like to use a rag or anything because I feel like my skin oils also allow the leather, because leather in effect is, calf skin most of the time. So I just like to apply that with my hands. I just do maybe like a dime size like that, and I start applying it all over the shoe. A nice even coat. Don't overdo it, a little bit goes a long way. Also, doing this with my fingers allows me to get into smaller spots versus having a rag that I kind of need to stuff inside the sole and such. you kind of see me get it close to my face. Just a little bit more. Don't overdo it because then the leather will absorb too much, and then you're just gonna basically you're gonna be baking a cake with your leather shoe, and that's actually gonna damage it. Too much product on leather, it's gonna cause rotting, buildup, and you don't want that for your shoe. You just want enough for it to be hydrated. And again, I would normally, after I do this step, that I use the leather lotion. I'll let it sit for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if the day's kind of chilly and it's not drying fast enough. I'll let it sit. That's gross. I'll have to clean that too. I'll let it sit and have this evaporate and dry up before I go to this final step. This is where I like to leave it. I don't like to reapply the beeswax. I may do that in the future just to prolong the life of the boot, but it's really important that when you guys are going to clean a shoe, like if you're going to have leather shoes, you need to clean your shoes often, probably every 5 to 10 uses. Give them a nice clean, give them some love, and it'll keep them looking tip-top. For this step, I actually like to use gloves because we are going to be using glove first. For this next step, this is leather balm. It's a type of conditioner. It's a little bit more oily. So that's why I like to cover up my hands, because this will mess up your hands. You're gonna have that sticky stuff on your hands. It's just not pleasant. And yes, to all my viewers, this is not only a tutorial, this is mainly focused on ASMR. For those of you who don't know, I enjoy the ASMR sounds, some of them, not all of them. So, has this, jeez, look at that. It's already making a mess. It has a tiny sponge inside for application. Like that. With this, a little goes a really long way. This makes a mess real fast. If you're using jeans or any kind of pant, you really don't want this stuff on your pants. So take it slow. The sponge, look at the only thing that I'm applying there. It's not much, but it's honest work. So put that to work as fast as you can. Look, you can see kind of that shine. It has a lot of product on it actually. Kind of looks like it stayed in the sun as well. It kind of melted into there, but whatever. So just apply this evenly throughout the entire shoe. You don't want to leave anything out because this is going to condition the leather. It's going to keep it flexible without cracking, without creasing a little bit too much. You want to get this into little nooks and crannies in the shoe so everything's nice and protected and your shoe doesn't start wearing out from weird places like inside the loop. So typically with this step, this is the longest that it takes because you actually do want this to be absorbed into the leather. Since it's so thick, it's not going to be as exaggerated with the lotion. So you don't have to worry about it building up too much. I'm gonna do the other boot. I'm gonna do the other boot, and I'm gonna let this rest for a while so it can absorb at least something. Typically, you could let this rest for about 2 hours, 3 hours, and then come back to it to finish it off with the brush because we need to take all the excess off with the brush. I guess I'll keep them on. Again, take off the laces. Oh, and for all you ASMR nuts that are finding my video and trying to figure out who I am and what is it that I'm doing, I have no idea what I'm doing with ASMR. My channel's about fashion, men's lifestyle, so if you like that sort of content and you kind of like different things in a YouTube channel, not just the same niche all the time, or just at least a different perspective on it, feel free to subscribe, hit that like button. Okay, so let's start off with the brush. Man, I am sweating like a sinner in church. I'm sorry guys, this may not be the most aesthetic video, but it is relaxing. Nice lather going on. Doesn't need to be too much. You can always go back and reapply if you need more, but it's a little bit harder to take it off the boot or take it off the brush. Sorry about that, that might have been loud. Alright, so if you look at the boot right here, it kind of has some sort of gunk stuck on it. That's really what you want to focus on when you're using the lather. You don't just want to go ahead and go at the boot all crazy and have a strategy when going towards it. Because if you don't know what you're cleaning, you're not cleaning anything. You're just brushing your boot with lather. You actually want to get it clean. That was a lot of water. Take that slow. Don't want to ruin my clothes either. You gotta look good for the YouTube videos, but you also gotta get the work done. Make sure to get the tunnel. Absolutely love the smell of these products. I actually like cleaning shoes. It's relaxing. I think it's starting to become a lost art within men. So, gentlemen, learn how to shine your shoes. Your shoes will thank you, and so will your peace of mind. It's actually quite relaxing when you're not in a furnace of a room, trying to be as quiet as you can. But when you can do this relaxed, it's kind of a nice experience, in my opinion. I think that actually came out a little bit more lather. I want to get that out. Make sure I do a good job cleaning my shoe that way. It's looking nice and dandy, and I don't look all crazy walking around with a really nice boot, and the other one's looking all dirty. That might actually be some kind of oil. That might need some talcum powder to get done. Let's get our towel. And clean this up. Again, be very careful when you're scrubbing a shoe. You don't want to be too rough with it because leather is at its most vulnerable. It's really fragile when it's wet. When it is humid, for some reason, it peels off much faster. And I learned that the hard way. I took a pair of nice boots. I think they were tweed and leather. Most of my boots were leather. All of my boots were leather. They were leather and tweed, and it was raining out, and I thought it'd be a good idea to use some boots to protect my foot, right? But the leather part got really wet, and it kind of sponged up, and I actually passed by a twig, and it just destroyed the leather part. It was sad. But when it was completely dry, I actually drove my foot in nails, walls, anything. I used to ride a lot of bikes when I was back in college, and it would get stuck on chains and stuff. So you see, that doesn't look nice. I'm probably gonna have to reapply beeswax in that area. So yeah, I used to ride a lot of bikes, and my boots would get a lot of beatings. They would get wet, tortured, and I never had one break on me except when it was wet. So be careful with your wet boots. So we're almost done. It's just part of this applying, and then we get back to the brushing of the boot, and I'll explain in a minute why that's important. There we go. So I kind of want to condition that spot a little bit more, so I don't mind putting on a little bit more product there, because I'm not entirely sure if that is actual damaged leather or if it's just some kind of oil or plastic melted on there for some reason. So if it's oil on a shoe or clothes or anything like that, you can use talcum powder to get it out. You just need to find a way to kind of tape it on there so the talcum powder can absorb the extra oil or humidity. That's a little life hack right there for you guys. It'll probably pop up in one of the future videos too. Life hacks for shoes. It's a good idea. And no, I don't appreciate having a shoe up to my face for the mic when the shoe is used. The things we do for YouTube. I don't want to make too much noise. Just the right amount. It's probably gonna be a long video too. Remember, get all the nooks and crannies. You don't want to miss anything with the conditioner. I I think the conditioner is the most important part of cleaning a shoe, because you could get away with maybe not brushing it, you could get away with maybe not washing the shoe with the lather, but not conditioning it is really gonna hurt your shoe. Your shoe's gonna dry up, it's gonna flake, it's gonna start cracking, creasing, and it's just gonna look real bad. And bad looking leather shoes is worse than a bad looking sneaker made out of any other material, because it's really obvious it's gonna look old, used, worn, and it might be a brand new shoe. Doesn't look good. Alright, so we have that done. I'm gonna let this one rest for a while, and we're gonna start over with the other boot first. This is the final step of the shoe cleaning process, or at least the way that I do it. Everybody has a personal way of preference, right? So you want to get all the excess off. Remember when I told you don't want your shoe building up any materials, dirt, or anything? This is important because this takes off all that extra leather balm. You get it off with this step, and you don't want to be caking your shoe. So just do nice long strokes with the brush. Hold it down like this. See if you can take a nice look at that. Even it all out. I'm not really sure if you guys can hear me. Maybe I'm talking a little bit too low. Maybe this is a little bit better. Yeah, right. Do that at the end of the video, right? But hey, I'm starting out. There may or may not be other ASMR videos coming this way, style related. Whenever you see me go in a circle, what I'm trying to do is get rid of a lot of product at the same time. These brushes absorb a lot, but you also have to wash them kind of often. So yeah, this is how the end result of your boot should be looking. Nice, even color, looks clean. You can clean the soles if you want to as well. I like to clean them out because whenever I sit, I like to cross my legs, and most of the time this is the angle people are looking at my shoe. I don't want a whole bunch of random gunk there, but I'll do that later on a rug. Let's go to the other boot and finish this video off. One thing I don't like about these boots is the sole. They are like this weird plastic that absolutely absorbs everything, and it is horrible. It even changed the color. It used to be kind of like a yellow color. Now it's almost throwing to black and orange. It's the only thing I don't like about this boot because I love the style. Combat boots, my favorite. sure to get out all the hairs from the brush. Sometimes they tend to stay behind, doesn't look very good. And there we have it, guys. That is how you clean leather shoes. If you don't enjoy ASMR and you would like me to do a little bit faster tutorial and something in a normal volume that won't get you sleepy at work or wherever you're watching this video, let me know down in the comments. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you like fashion related advice and content, that sort of stuff, go ahead, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and share the content with a friend. Thank you so much, guys. Stay safe, stay stylish.